finally reviewing.
Hey Dave, would you mind just showing this boykie over here how to drive, eh?
To be immortal.
Those films that kind of come out
This
between,
much.
yeah, you're not sure, was it 2023, was it 2024?
The detail and the angles.
Drama and action.
Time slows down. Feels like nothing and everything at the same time.
Wait, what did you just say? Like the car's are vertical and he's going. Oh, flip. Hoyt van Hoytema. What is up?
Hey, how's it going?
This is the movie show.
On the movie show.
On the movie show. I'm Sash.
My name's Ryan.
And we are finally reviewing a movie.
GRAN TURISMO. Which is kind of a game, actually.
And
technically
and
too.
like what is it? Formula One. What is it considered as?
Racing.
Car racing.
Yes.
Racing. There we go. The much beloved car racing of Ryan, right?
Gaming.
Right, Ryan?
Gaming stuff.
No. How much you love watching Formula One.
Yeah. The beginning and the end.
The beginning and then. Okay, so Gran Turismo is a film that came out last year. Was it last year or this year? I feel like it's very blurry. Those films that kind of come out
This
between,
much.
yeah, you're not sure. Was it 2023? Was it 2024?
It was 23.
23. Okay, so 2023, but it definitely was the end of last year. And it came out on Netflix and
Yep.
I thought it was very good. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I think I did see a review where the person was actually saying that the fact that this is a true life story or based on a true life story helped it. So like if it hadn't been a true life story and it was just kind of like a standalone film or an original screenplay type of thing, then like it probably was an original screenplay, but it was fictional. Then they were like, it probably wouldn't have been as but they
Would have been like great story.
like me.
Imagine it really happened. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, like or it would have been like that would never happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it definitely helped the film. Yeah. But then also, I don't know if you found this, like I remember we did what was that movie called where what was that movie? It was the guy that took the video game. Oh my goodness.
Ready Player One.
No.
not that
The
one.
actual, also it was based on a true life story with Taron Egerton. It's literally, I can see it. He went to Russia. Tetris, thank you.
Wasn't it Tetris?
Wow, Tetris. So Tetris was also based on a true life story, and like, but what they did with it was they dramatized it. So like there are certain things within Tetris that didn't actually happen, but I feel like they added it because otherwise, it wouldn't have been that interesting type of thing. So they've done the same with Gran Turismo. So it's based on a true life story, but they've had to like, where they just have to add like drama and action and
bit of spice.
Yeah, like a bit of spice. So like apparently in the film, he has a very strained relationship with his father, and that apparently was not a thing. Like that just didn't happen in real life. So like and even in the film, like there's a certain part where he stops speaking to his parents, like he becomes uncontactable. That apparently also like didn't happen. There's even two characters within the story that were fictionalized. So Orlando Bloom and David Harbour both act in the film, and their two characters,
I like both of their characters.
they were very cool, but their two characters they're not true people. They were based off of like certain figures within what actually happened. So there's like,
and it was the first time that I heard a British person say Nissan.
Right, actually.
The way they said it, I was like, oh,
okay.
was that Nissan? Okay.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. How did you find Orlando Bloom's acting? Because he's not really like
cool.
Yeah, his character was not the usual Orlando Bloom character,
Trying to take him professionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this professional salesman.
Because he was just very, it was good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Because like I think about Orlando Bloom, we know him from like Pirates of the Caribbean. He was Will, what was his surname? Whatever.
Will Turner.
Turner, thank you.
When he was very passionate about the whole gaming and turning, taking these, the whole gaming thing into the real car thing. Like I felt sitting on this side of the screen, like watching it, I was like, wow, he's quite passionate about this. Eh? So I got that from him. Yeah, very good, because there was that passion, and then obviously you see how he gets approached, and okay, cool, we'll give you a shot. How his face even lighter. He's like,
what?
So yeah.
What?
Very
yeah,
good.
yeah. So I did enjoy it. And then David Harbour, I enjoyed him very much, and I think he did a good job.
He was
But he had like a nice, like often he'll play he'll be like the drunkard, like often he plays like his character's drunk and stuff like that, but this time he was more responsible and more like humble in a way and down to it. But and then the director of this film, if you don't know, is the one and only Neil Blomkamp,
Uncle Neil,
who's a South African.
Uncle Neil.
So he did the likes of District 9, he did Chappie, he did Elysium, which we also
I
did.
I felt the graphics.
Yeah, no, it was
I
very
loved
cool.
what he did to the graphics.
Yeah,
Especially he's got the whole augmented reality kind of thing going on.
Yes.
And like the detail and the angles.
And what they did with this film was actually incredible, because like if you watch a lot of like the behind the scenes footage and stuff, which you can see behind us, they would
behind the scenes.
There
he is.
they literally like strapped cameras to cars, and they would follow these racing cars, but they didn't. So sometimes what they'll do to film racing scenes is they'll film it, the cars will drive slower and then they'll speed it up. With this, they didn't do that. They filmed the races at the actual speed. They had a whole lot of like drivers, but like actual professional drivers. In fact, the story is set or is about a person named Jan Mardenborough. That's the guy's name, and he was his actual stunt driver. So in the movie, you have the actor. His name's Archie. He's got a very long surname. I can't remember his surname now. It's also with an M. But he plays Jan. Yeah. But then his stunt driver is the actual driver that they're making the movie about, which I actually thought was pretty cool. Like, it's like, yay, I get to be myself. I get to be myself stunt person. Yeah.
Pretend like I'm me.
And then the other thing that they did was crazy. I don't know if you saw this, but they built... So what they would do is they'd have the car, but then they would build a rig on top of the car, which is where the actual driver would sit.
Oh, yeah.
And then inside the interior of the car, they'd put the actor, but the actor wouldn't be able to control the car. So in other words, the part of the car that was actually the part that controlled the car wasn't the normal, interior of the car. It was actually they'd built this little like rig on top of the car, which is also really weird. But like so the actual driver was sitting on top on the roof with this like rig, and then inside the car they would put the actor. But what they said what was nice with that was then they actually got the actors like genuine like response and genuine experience in a way while they were busy acting out the scenes.
I know what they must feel like, especially for someone who drives, the steering wheel's in front of you, and you're coming up to a corner at like high speed. Like imagine that feeling, and now you have to act. I'm sure it took a couple of takes for them to really get into it.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like they had drones flying. So like from a stunt perspective, this film was insane. But one of the things they did say was they performed the stunts. They were incredible stunts, but they were also safe. Like they were, And then I found this very interesting. So apparently Neil, a local South African. Now, I actually picked this up because if you watch the behind the scenes footage, there's a specific driver that they speak about or that they introduce, and then he often will comment on like what's happening. And this driver, he was speaking, and I was like, this guy is so South African. Like, you can just hear the South African accent. And apparently, he's a local South African professional race car driver and sim racer. His name's David Perel.
That sounds very...
And he basically emailed director Neil offering his assistance, and Neil responded within 5 minutes, and over the next 7 months Perel had the opportunity to be on set providing advice on all things racing. How cool is that?
So it probably would have gone something like hey, but check, you're making a movie, eh? So like, how about you put me in the car there? I'd like to be your driving supervisor.
Yeah.
What you say, but let me know. You know. Thanks,
he could just hear this. He could hear the accent over the email, and then
just call me on my Vodacom number.
My Vodacom number.
Otherwise, my South Sea number. Just see for yourself, eh?
This became a very South African joke. Okay, anyway, back to our international listeners. So then also this, I thought this was crazy. So the actual guy himself, Jan, when he was hired for GT, he'd never like driven a car before. So like he literally. It's crazy what he was able to achieve. So I guess that would have been easy
for him to just kind of, I don't know. Maybe weird.
But then also Archie, so his name's Archie Madekwe. I don't know how to pronounce his surname. Yeah. But that guy, yes. He acts as Jan in the film. He also apparently didn't know how to drive before going into this film. So he literally had to learn not only how to be a professional like GT racer, but he had to actually learn how to drive. And I think it was the South African driver that what's his name, David is the one that actually got him up to scratch with the whole driving and all of that. But I thought that was pretty interesting.
So Neil probably would have been like, hey Dave, would you mind just showing this boy over here how to drive, eh? No problem, Neil. Got you. How long do you need? Just give me 5, eh? All right, cool.
Give me 5.
Sharp. And then he learns in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's actually quite incredible, the fact that he was his own stunt driver as well.
Yeah.
You see, there's one thing about movies.
No, he wasn't. Wait. What did you just say?
He was his own stunt driver.
Who was his own stunt driver?
Arch is his name.
He wasn't his own stunt driver. The actual Jan was the stunt driver.
Yeah.
So there's Jan in real life,
what you say.
And then there's Archie who plays Jan. Right. So Archie played Jan, but Jan was his own stunt driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which I'm sure Jan would have called. I mean, Neil would have called him Jan.
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 Yeah, definitely.
Jan.
Definitely. Yeah. So it was a pretty interesting film. I feel like I need to spoil this. It happened in real life, okay? So I don't know. Did you expect the accident to happen?
I kind of read about the story.
Did you?
So
okay.
I knew. I was wondering if it was going to come
They
up.
apparently were going to leave it out, but then for me it was like that really added to the story. I must be honest. So I didn't read about the story beforehand.
You need some kind of change, swing in the story.
So for me, I was watching and I got the sense of like, what if he died in a car crash? I don't know why I got that sense.
That would make the story cool.
And
it would make the movie cool.
Go watch Ford versus Ferrari.
Would have been unexpected.
Just go watch Ford versus Ferrari then.
Very unexpected.
Wow. But then I was watching it next minute, this car, and also how it happened is crazy. Because this specific part of this track, this happens a lot where cars, because of just how it works, the cars can become airborne. So literally you watch how the car, he's going, and next minute from the nose of the car it lifts, and next minute he's just like, the car's vertical and it's just going. And I was like, is he dreaming? Because at that point you weren't like sure.
I believe I can fly.
And then he had an accident, and I think at that point I actually stopped the movie and went to search if this really happened, because I was shocked. And I watched the actual accident. Have you seen the actual accident's footage?
Mid crash, I think.
Did you actually watch the actual accident?
I'm trying to think if I didn't it flip. It more did like flips.
No, but it did the whole vertical thing.
I remember seeing it.
But I was just like, oh flip. I was glad that he didn't die. Unfortunately, one of a spectator did one person, a couple of people were injured, but one person unfortunately did actually pass away. But that was I'm glad that they didn't leave that out. And then another difference in the film from real life is that they use the Le Mans, which I only found out about it when I watched Ford versus Ferrari. But in the film, they kind of use that to redeem Jan as like a, let's get you back into the racing world and prove that because in the film they portrayed it as people were saying because he was a GT he played it on PlayStation, that it was the reason why the accident happened, which actually wasn't fair because it had happened to other drivers before that. But they said, let's win Le Mans and then that will like redeem you type of thing. Now, I actually think the accidents happened in real life. The accidents happened after he had already competed in Le Mans. So that was changed slightly. And as far as I know, he didn't win Le Mans. He came third. So he did make the, what do they call it? The pedestal? But he didn't win. And also he wasn't the first GT. He wasn't the first winner of GT. So in the film, they portrayed it as he was the first person to come into GT and win. It wasn't the case. 2 other people had won before him. So he was the third person to win GT.
Oh, great.
And also in the film, they portrayed that there were female drivers. That also wasn't a thing. So they did like change a few things up.
Just kind of.
Was this film better than Ford versus Ferrari?
No,
not a chance. No way. And that was also based on a true life story. This one doesn't come close. Ford versus Ferrari was solid. Was it a good film? Yes, I enjoyed it. It was a good film.
It was a good film.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Ford versus Ferrari was incredible.
And would you say that if you're not, if another car film or I'm not really a racing person.
I don't think you need to be a racing person. I think what was nice about this was they brought in the whole PlayStation, because obviously that's where he originated from. So I thought that was very cool the way they did that. And I would definitely say for a Neil Blomkamp film, it looked incredible. The cinematography, the way he did, I really enjoyed it. Didn't often his films have this very dark, grungy look to it. Like if you think of District 9 and Elysium, it's got this very like this I felt like he stepped out of what he's previously done, which I enjoyed, because it's nice to when a director kind of does something different type of thing. So I did enjoy that.
Definitely. I would say that a lot of like the CG stuff that I spoke about, like the AR kind of things that the camera's rotating and then you see like the parts, that I was like, yep, there you go, there's Neil. Because of the previous films and the amount of CG, computer generated stuff that he involves, I was like, yep. And it comes out of nowhere. It's just, and you're like, oh, yeah, cool.
Wow. That was pretty cool.
It looked great.
Yeah, it did
CG
look great.
Looked really, really great.
Yeah.
And especially the integration from where you're sitting in a racing, like in a normal chair, like a game, into the way that it transitioned into like the game or the real track. I was like, that's cool. Very good, very smooth.
And even, the way they did that.
Integration.
Yes. Yeah. That's basically explains it, the integration. So Gran Turismo, great film. Pretty. With the swearing, there was swearing. But it wasn't, and there wasn't I don't remember nudity. So it's not but the swearing, I suppose that's the only thing about the film would have been that.
We still need that app.
Yeah, we need that app. Yeah. But now, moving on to the Oscars, because the Oscars legit just happened. Who won what? Are you ready, Ryan?
Let's go.
Okay, so basically, Oppenheimer took like everything. Okay, they didn't take everything, but they took like a lot. So I'll just go through quickly the different categories. So actor in a leading role, Cillian Murphy took for Oppenheimer, which I'm actually glad. I feel like Cillian Murphy deserves to be an Oscar winner. So that I was happy about. And then actor in supporting role, so Robert Downey Jr. got that. Has he received an Oscar before, or was this his first?
Can't say, I don't remember. Don't know.
He might have already, but he won best supporting. Then actress in leading role. Now this surprised me. Although, no, not really. But so Emma Stone won for Poor Things. Poor Things looks like a very good film. The only thing is I checked the parental guide and the nudity is quite intense within the film, which you kind of like. But Mark Ruffalo's also in Poor Things. So, but she won for that. And then actress in supporting role, Divine Joy Randolph won for the Holdovers. I don't know. I haven't watched it. I think she also won other otherwise, but she was up against like the likes of Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer and America Ferrera for Barbie. So yeah. Then animated film was The Boy and the Heron. I haven't watched that though. That one over Elemental and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Wow. Maybe we should go watch that film.
Yeah.
Okay, cinematography. Guess who won? Oppenheimer, which was Hoyt van Hoytema. Hoyt van Hoytema.
That guy's he's been working a lot with
Christopher Nolan.
With Christopher Nolan.
Chris, there we go.
Yeah, from I think at least his last two or three films.
Yeah. Okay, costume design. This one surprised me as well. Was not Barbie.
Thank goodness.
It was Poor Things again. So the Oscars this year really went Oppenheimer, and then Poor Things actually won quite a bit. Director was Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. Documentary feature film was 20 Days in Mariupol. I didn't watch it. And then film editing was
Christopher Nolan.
Oppenheimer. No, Jennifer Lane, but Oppenheimer. International feature film was.
That's also the person that he usually uses for editing.
Is it?
Her name.
I can't remember.
Her name does ring a bell. But I could be completely wrong.
Then makeup and hairstyling was Poor Things again. So it really was like a toss-up between Poor Things and Oppenheimer. Music, original score, Oppenheimer won. And then music, original song, and they've been winning, was Billie Eilish for What Was I Made For, which is a Barbie. It was from Barbie. Not I'm Just Ken, sorry. But I think he did perform. I think he performed I'm Just Ken at the Oscars. So if you want to go watch that. There was also actually an incredible performance by, what's his name? Andrea Bocelli and his son. And they performed... I think the song is called All the Fallen Angels. I stand to be corrected, but it was for all of the people in the film industry that have passed away in the past year. And obviously, Matthew... Oh my goodness, I forgot his name. That Chandler from Friends was Matthew Perry. He obviously passed away in the past year, and then also apparently the head of the academy. I can't remember his name, it was pretty solid. Yeah, I was like, and Bocelli and his son performed it together, so that must have been quite incredible to witness. All right, then production design was Poor Things, animated short film. Oh wait, this is animated short film. Is War Is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. I don't know what that is, but this is what I was getting excited for. Live action short film, The Wonderful World, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar one.
Wow, that's
I was yay, go The Wonderful World of Henry Sugar. Yeah, that one I was happy for them. Visual effects, Godzilla -1.
We haven't seen that.
No, I haven't.
We have to see that then.
And then this one is the one I wanted to mention. So I don't know if you remember when we looked at the different awards that you could win for the Oscars, we spoke about Best Picture. Now, Best Picture is kind of like the award to win at the Oscars. It kind of sets your film apart like forever type of thing. It's not just like a yearly award, but it's kind of like this was a Best Picture for like the year 2024. Guess who won?
Oppenheimer.
Yep. So Oppenheimer really took the Oscars. Oppenheimer for me was a good film. The only thing I really didn't like, and for me it was quite what's the word, like
distressing,
explicit, was the nudity.
Shocking.
The nudity was hectic, and I was shocked because Christopher Nolan ain't that man. Like that's not him. But yeah, we were all like,
Chris,
what's happening?
What's going on, Chris?
And it was unnecessary. I feel like he could have done without it. Like it really could have been expressed in other forms and other ways. So, yeah.
Hey.
But I'm glad for Cillian Murphy, you know?
Yes.
And the score was very good.
Yeah.
The score was very good, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so that was the Oscars this year. Oppenheimer took it with Poor Things. Those two were like everywhere. Shame, do you know that Emily Stone, so she acts in Poor Things. She's, you know who that is. She was the chick she acted in The Amazing Spider-Man. She was Gwen. Her name was Gwen, right? Was it Gwen?
Yes.
It was Gwen, right? There's too many Spider-Man movies out there.
They're all
But
Gwen.
she was in, I think, The Lobby, and at the time when it was either costume or best production design won, she heard that they'd won, but her reaction, man, her legit reaction was like it was insane. The way she literally stopped, screamed. We'll play it, right? I'll show it to you. We'll play it for you now. But it was crazy, her reaction. Shame, I was just like, she loves her crew, man. Yeah. So those were the sorry, I said 100 and something. I think it was either the 94th or the 96th Academy Awards. It was, I'll tell you now, the 96th Academy Awards in 2024. Yeah. So that was the Oscars. Hot off the press.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been the movie show
on Active FM.
Until next week.
Cheerio.
Peace.
The end.